First, allow me to congratulate the President for a very eloquent, bold, and explicit speech that detailed strategic and elaborate plans for this country. In his opening remarks, for those who heard the President, he was extremely optimistic. And he made me more optimistic. One, because for the first time in the history of Kenya, the loans that are being taken in this country are going to be equitably distributed to all parts of the country. And as I listened to the President's speech, especially the infrastructure development, and mentioning that it's going to dual Rironi-Mau Summit Road, and that the road will be dual to Kisumu, and it will proceed from Kisumu to Busia. Then he mentioned the railway line that is going to proceed up to Malaba. And that railway line, Mr. Speaker, sir, is going to pass through Yala in Game. With those indicators, I am certain, sure in my mind, that Game as a constituency will give the President a second chance under my leadership. Secondly, the President mentioned when he picked the economy, it was in tatters. The dollar was at 162. Today, as we talk, today in this market, to sell the dollar, you're selling at 129.8. To buy it is at 130. So what does that mean? It means consistently, the President has done what it takes for a head of state to ensure that the economy is stable. He equally mentioned on the issue of health. And what the President has pushed largely is to ensure that community health workers, which is the best line in any country that wants to take care of the citizens, so that the community health workers are equipped with medical equipment that are able to establish if you have high blood pressure, you have diabetes. So at the frontal, with that basic treatment, you can be able to be taken to the next hospital. And I think I want to congratulate His Excellency for doing a superb job in the health sector. But equally, he also mentioned issues to do with security and the interventions, elaborate interventions that I've done in terms of ensuring that this country is safe. And I can say without an iota of doubt, what has happened during the President's time, especially the performance of the NIS Director Haji, the performance of Murkomen, and the performance of the PS, Dr. Raymond Omolo, is beyond measure. They have done a super job to ensure this country remains safe.
Just a moment, Elisha. Is this are you on a point of order or on a point of information?
I want to indulge my friend and my close friend and I want to beg him, to beseech him. He allows me, I just give him a point of information, just for record purposes.
Is he willing to be informed? Oh, just a moment. Are you willing to be informed by the MP for Funyula?
Unless, as a good professor, you know, coefficient of correlation or coefficient of determination. I prefer you take the school of coefficient of determination.
I don't, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I don't want to discuss, we go through at the university, but I just wanted to go on record, and I think this has been peddled here, has been stated so many times, which is incorrect. Honorable Speaker, I'm just looking at the website of Central Bank of Kenya. On 23rd September 2022, the dollar exchange rate was 120.54. That was the dollar exchange rate, and this is a record from the Central Bank of Kenya.
Which year?
2022. It was on September 2022, the dollar exchange rate was 120.54, and like what my good friend and neighbor, you know, have to pass through his constituent to go to my place, indicated it was 160. They need to go on record, and this official record from also, Central Bank of Kenya.
You need also to, a scholar, to find out exactly what was the reserves at that time. How much was the dollar reserve? That was, because the dollar reserve is, in a sense, what also mitigates the dollar against the shilling because when you have more reserve, then of course you're able to control that. But when there's a small reserve, then there's a problem. So are you able to give that a correlation also?
Honorable Speaker, given a minute or so, I can research and
Because the assertion by a number of members of parliament who have contributed on this is that we had very little reserves when we took over, and I think that was also in the speech of the president. And then the spiral, the downward spiral, happened immediately after the elections. Progressively, it went all the way to 160. Was it 162, 163? Something like that. I mean, just because you want to inform, I might as well inform you that you need to do a little bit more research than that, so that to get the exact condition of our economy at the time when the changes did happen. You realize that the Speaker's panel and the member who is on the chair here is also a member of Parliament who represents the constituency. Is not an ex-official like the Speaker. But anyway, proceed. You have heard what you have been, information that was given to you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for that intervention. But I think you cannot logically pick on just one data of 1 month without looking at the whole year to be able to have an incontrovertible evidence that then would school all of us to be able to convince that the professor, the content of his brain is that of a professor. But on this one, I'm sure you're not on the right place of history. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, the President equally mentioned